Welcome to the inaugural episode of Bites, Sites, and Life Insurance Insights. I'm your host, Bill Bell, Vice President of Advanced Sales with Penn Mutual, and I am so excited that you're coming along on this journey with me. This is going to be a show where I talk to life insurance experts on a variety of different topics over a sumptuous meal. I grew up just about 10 minutes down the road. One of the places that I love to go, holy smokes, in Costa Mesa. So I've got a guest inside waiting to share a meal with me and talk about life insurance. Let's go inside and check it out. For our first episode, I could think of no better guest than my good friend and former podcast partner, Stephan Mitchell. Stephan, say hi to everybody.
First episode?
First episode.
I thought you've been doing the podcast for like months.
This is not a podcast. This is a video series that we're doing.
Sit up straight now.
Introduce yourself.
Stephan Mitchell, FFR, First Financial Resources. I've been with First Financial Resources for about 8 months. But what I do at FFR is I run the product department there. So I talk to the members and give them my advice about product.
I've heard a rumor that you're a big fan of barbecue. What do you say we order up some food and we get to our conversation?
The sooner the better, because the smell is in the air.
All right, so we're gonna start with the burn ends, the chicken wings, the rib tips, brisket, pulled pork, the hot links, Brussels sprouts, the coleslaw, the cowboy beans. Oh, look at that. Ooh, sauces.
Well, he came through on the sauces and the buffalo sauce.
I love it.
This is great. Look at this.
Spectacular. Thank you so much. What are you seeing out there right now as far as concepts that are being used to move life insurance?
Well, you know, we're in this weird situation with high interest rates, Bill, right? So it sort of killed off some concepts. I mean, obviously the premium financing is a little bit of a challenge sale these days, but on the flip side of that, because of the attractive short-term rates that you can earn on things like premium deposit funds are a big concept these days. With the repositioning of an asset using life insurance, we love that story anyway. Because now, a lot of firms, Penn being one of them, obviously are offering some attractive rates for those short-term asset redeploys using premium deposit funds. So I know that's being talked about a lot. Of course, the other big thing, of course, is the estate sunset that every carrier is talking about. You guys are talking about that, but every carrier is talking about that coming.
And from a product line perspective, are you seeing movement from one particular product line to another these days?
Variable sales are up a little bit, and some carriers are out there with really generous premium deposit account rates. IUL continues to be an attractive product because, like everything, it's the rising tide lifting all boats. I mean, you guys have terrific success with your whole life chassis. When you're leveraging that with an index strategy, IUL continues to drive the lion's share of the business, and it just looks better and better. We're also seeing some carriers enhance their fixed accounts. A lot of the carriers now are truing up the fixed rate within the IUL product along with the indexed accounts, cap rates going up. So everything, there's just nothing but good news coming out from product developments on the fixed side.
Why don't we take a few bites of our...
I can't concentrate.
What's the biggest differences that you see working with a carrier versus working with a distribution company?
Well, I think the biggest difference is that you, working for a distribution company, you wake up every morning 100% focused on one customer, the producers that belong to our producer group, FFR. I don't have to think for a second who's the customer, who's the most important person. At the carrier, there's a lot of different things you have to worry about. I mean, it's a much more, I guess, more focused existence, a much more pure customer service focused in the sense that the customer is the producer. So that really is the easiest way to answer the question.
Well, the financial professional is our customer because we know that not a single piece of business gets sold to an end client without the financial professional being involved.
The ACE platform being just one of many great examples at Penn of taking away the difficulty of selling life insurance for that financial professional.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you about ACE. I mean, what kind of differentiator is that for the financial professionals that you work with?
It's your rocket sauce at Penn. Again, every carrier kind of has their own little special niche that nobody else has. for Penn is absolutely the ACE program. It's mildly amusing when I go to meetings and I hear presentations from other carriers who are rolling out ACE-type platforms, and they're bragging and thumping their chests about, we go up to $1 million for our no-frills, frictionless underwriting. And it's like everyone's playing catch-up with ACE, and you guys are so far ahead. And again, as you know, the producers, they don't want to spend a lot of time deciding, who am I going to call to place this case today. If they've already had a good experience with ACE, they're going to keep going back. You're going to get repeat business, and your sales numbers prove that out. Yeah.
All right, well, I think our food is actually arriving. Oh, look at that. That looks amazing. Thank you. There you go. There's the beans. Mm. Why don't you share what we're eating here?
And this is a Texas barbecue approach here. So you're going to go for the beef, and for the beef, that means brisket. So we've got some brisket here. Some of it's fatty, some of it's lean. We've also got some beef sausage. Those are the two that you're going to typically find when you go to Texas for barbecue. The pulled pork is something that's more aligned with the Carolinas barbecue.
Why is life insurance planning like good barbecue? I mean, you wouldn't think that they have anything to do with each other.
But they do.
But they do. So not only do you like to consume barbecue, but you like to make barbecue as well. So you have some expertise.
Good barbecue takes time. And so you do have to have that long-term view. If you want quality, you can't be in a rush. Life insurance, of course, is not a transactional sale. It's something that oftentimes takes years because you're identifying needs that customers didn't even know that they had. So having a long-term perspective, whether it's barbecue or whether it's life insurance planning, we absolutely go hand in hand.
Well, and if there's a team approach to it too. So you and I have on multiple occasions been to the World Barbecue Championship in Memphis. It's not an individual that's entering those competitions, it's a team. And when you think about life insurance planning, you have the financial professional, but you also might have the client's attorney, might have their CPA, might have their money manager. All these people are involved in that, and it's a real team approach in the right case.
Another thing that makes the selling of life insurance a difficult thing, because you do have so many people that are involved in the sale.
What makes FFR special?
At FFR, I think that we're pretty much the only producer group left that is 100% owned, operated, controlled by the members. From your perspective as a carrier, Dave speaks so eloquently about, it's you get up every morning, you don't have to worry about the shareholders' revolt or anything like that. You get up in the morning and you focus on making that sales process as smooth as possible. We're not worried about private equity firms trying to, inject ideas or opinions. We are completely 100% owned and operated by our member firms. We don't have anybody on the board that's not an FFR member. So I think that is one of the main reasons why FFR and Penn Mutual are such a harmonious marriage these days, because we reflect and share that same approach as a carrier at a producer group level, where we're not interested or all that worried about outside influences. We get up every morning focused on that producer, just like you guys do.
So just to make clear, we're not saying anything negative about other strategic alliances or producer groups out there. In
Absolutely.
fact, for those of you that are watching that are members of other strategic alliances, we will be talking to management of all of our strategic alliances either later this year or sometime early in 2025. But we certainly wanted Stephan to be able to talk a lot about the FFR value proposition. Now, why are Penn Mutual and FFR such a great match?
Penn Mutual is not only a great mutual carrier, they act like it on a daily basis. I mean, you would never mistake Penn Mutual for a stock company. I mean, again, every time you hear Dave speak to audiences, the first thing that he talks about is that mutual structure that he wakes up every day laser focused on one thing, the customer. And again, that's the same thing that Michael Babikian wakes up with when he runs FFR. He runs FFR for the members. The work that our members and your producers do is so vitally important to families and businesses in this country. And it is so difficult to do that job. The least we can do as a producer group and as a firm is to remove as many obstacles as we possibly can. So again, I think the marriage between the two is something that is just natural.
Okay, we got our desserts coming in, Stephan. You ready?
Oh man, let's see what we got.
Oh, what do we got here? Oh, spectacular.
Mode.
Banana pudding.
Banana pudding. King's
2 spoons
favorite.
for each. Look at that.
Man, that's
excellent.
terrific.
So So we're going to do some desserty topics here. Let's move off of life insurance for a second here. If you could go back in time and see any band at their absolute peak of their powers in concert for one night only. Could be the Beatles in the late 60s. It could be Sabbath in the early 70s. It could be Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
For me, the band that I would really want to have seen in their prime, and I wasn't old enough, would have been The Who in around 1970. I think when The Who launched Tommy and then followed it up with Live at Leeds and followed it up with Who's Next, I think that period of The Who would have been great to see on stage.
For me, it would have to be Zeppelin in the mid 70s.
75.
Yeah, right around when Zeppelin 4 I think came out. Maybe House of the Holy. Yeah, somewhere in there.
To see Zeppelin in the pure blues phase, like before Zeppelin 3.
Yeah.
Like those first two, and you know Zeppelin 2 is maybe the best.
It's the second best second album ever.
Yeah.
Right behind Paranoid.
Paranoid by Sabbath. Yeah.
You and I are both giant baseball fans.
Yeah,
our team sucks. Is there any hope for the Angels going forward?
No, they need to have the same approach as we do in life insurance, right? They need to have a long-term view, and they got to commit to it, and they haven't put a team together. So it's going to be a long time until we see postseason action. I just don't know what's going to happen.
So we were able to use barbecue as an analogy to a life insurance and baseball as an analogy to life insurance. So I think that's a pretty good way to round out the conversation here today. So thank you again for being part of our first episode.
Oh, my pleasure.
Really appreciate it. We're going to dive into the dessert.
Oh, yeah.
For all of our viewers, make sure to stay tuned to this channel. We're going to have another episode here in the next quarter. This one will be with our friend Peter Chung from NFP Partners Financial. So stay tuned for that. And until the next time, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.